Hello everyone. We are on Highway 8. We left Saguaro National Park and we're going towards Salton Sea. In this video, we're going to be covering the sites that you will find on the east side of Salton Sea. We're going to be visiting Slab City, Salvation Mountain, East Jesus, and Bombay Beach. Here we are entering Slab City, often referred to as the last free place on Earth. Basically, this used to be a military training center during the Second World War, and in the mid-50s it was totally dismantled and all that remained were the cement slabs, which explains the name Slab City. In the summer months, the temperatures will reach as high as 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 degrees Celsius. There is no running water, no electricity, no sewer system. So living for free is not necessarily living easy. However, there is a definite creative vibe in the area, and you will be left alone to live as you see fit. This is Salvation Mountain, and the man behind Salvation Mountain is Leonard Knight. He arrived in the 1980s and spent over 3 decades building and maintaining the mountain. His message was, love Jesus and keep it simple. The structure is basically made of what they call adobe bricks, and it's a mixture of mud and straw. And there's over 500,000 gallons of paint that went into that structure. The artist is no longer with us. In December of 2011, at the age of 80, he was placed in a long-term care facility for dementia. He died in 2014. He was 82. He was able to visit Salvation Mountain for the last time in May 2013. Now, if you see the movie Into the Wild, there is a scene at Salvation Mountain, and Leonard Knight played himself in that scene. The mountain has been recognized by the Folk Art Society of America. This man that I had the pleasure of chatting with is one of the caretakers, and they still receive a lot of donations in order to maintain the property. Here we are entering the community called East Jesus. Contrary to its name, it bears no religious significance. It is located within the boundaries of Slab City, and it's just past Salvation Mountain. The founder here is Charlie Russell. He left his tech job in 2007 and moved into Slab City. Originally, he planned to work on Salvation Mountain, but then he began building art structures out of trash and recycled materials, and then he devoted the next 5 years into building this community. Charlie died in May of 2011 of a heart attack. He was 46 years old. At the time of his death, the community was very much alive and a number of artists had already joined him. He built a number of areas within this community. He built a library because he says there is no need to be uneducated when you're out here in the desert, plus a Wi-Fi station so that you can Facebook about the whole experience. He also built a stripper pole because strippers will not show up if you don't have a pole. His ashes are in the music room in that community. I was blown away with the art that I saw. I had very little expectations coming into this. The messages are strong and very much reflective of today's society. I think he would be very proud of what it has become. This is the van that he left with in 2007.
We gon' make it beaches, stay in there, stay in the morning, stay in the morning with me, give you a moment, give you a moment with me, smell all the roses with me, just give you a moment, stay in the moment with me. You woke up from a while, haven't seen a smile since December, ripped your heart, got a brand new one, since you got lost in November, see it in your eyes when we leave for the night, way too many heartbreaks still.
The artist here is Flip Cassidy. This whole wall started with one single TV, and the message was things never change. It was used as a backdrop for their band. His buddy that created the tire mammoth that you're going to see in the pictures a little later discovered East Jesus, and at that time he knew that their art collection belonged here. And now that TV wall keeps growing year after year.
I see you climbing, been trying to find your way. Let's see you smiling. Since we were stuck in lake, come jump the rooftop and come watch the skyline with me.
We are now on our way to Bombay Beach, which is about 30 minutes away from Slab City. I'm very surprised to see the number of farmland there is around, considering all the reports on toxic air. Here we are on Bombay Beach, and this is what I've read about it. If California needed an enema, this is where they would shove in the tube. This lake was created in 1905 by diverting the Colorado River into a dried-up lake, and that was to irrigate the farmlands in the area. This lasted for 2 years, and it did create California's largest inland body of water, about twice the size of Lake Tahoe. In the 1950s, it became a very popular weekend destination. People like the Beach Boys, Frank Sinatra, and Sonny Bono would perform here. The decline started at the beginning of the 1970s when the salinity level of the lake became so high that it started to destroy the wildlife. To give you an idea, originally it used to have about the same salinity as the ocean. Nowadays, it has close to double that. From what I understand, this lake has no inlet or outlet, therefore it slowly evaporates and thereby increasing the salinity levels of the water. And to add to the problem, agriculture runoffs seeps into it. Any and all solutions prove to be too costly financially. However, there is renewed hope for the area. Interest is growing. It seems like Salton Lake could be hiding enough lithium to power the whole of the United States. I personally had never heard of this place prior to this trip. It was just a stop on our way to somewhere else. But it left me with a very lasting impression. It's a story of misfits finding a place to thrive, creating art out of junk, and another man-made ecological disaster, but with an ending of hope.